A pleasant good morning to each of you today. I am delighted to share with you um, Unmuted Modern Day Psalms to Liberate the Soul from the Bondage of Stifling Silence. It's a collection of poetic pieces that I believe were inspired by my own journey and working with others. And as I have worked in the last couple of weeks with the topic, what is your love quotient? I realized that at the core of our challenge in terms of loving and receiving love is where we have been broken in life, where we have been distorted in life. And as a result of that, our outlook on life is challenged. Our perception, our perspective is challenged. Now, I don't know if you can hear, but my neighbor has just started to mow his lawn, and so I have some background noise, and sorry about that. I'm going to flip the camera in a few, but I just wanted to share this with you and to tell you that your story matters, and you should share it with the world. Now, I've got to tell you that even though I believe in sharing your story and telling your story, that I do believe who you share your story with is important. I don't believe that our story should be told to just anyone. I do believe that God, in His wisdom, will bring people into your life. I should be flipping the camera now. All right, here we are. I do believe that God would bring people into your life who are supposed to be part of your journey. And it's going to be important that you know who those people are, right? And so today we're talking about Unmuted, my little piece of work that the Lord has inspired. And if you have been called to author, if you have been inspired to author anything, I can tell you it's important that you push through the voices and the intimidation and everything that hell will tell you to stop doing what you're doing. I heard the voices, who's going to read this? And, what is this? And really had to make a decision that whatever I need to do, I'm going to get it done. And I did it. And I can tell you, so many people have said the blessing this book is to them. And so sometimes God uses the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, doesn't He? And when your own work blesses you, you know something is in there, not just for others, but for yourself. So let me share you a little story here. One evening, this is a couple years now, I called a dear friend of mine, and I was belly aching about something. It's about a relational issue. I felt betrayed. I was hurt. And so my girlfriend said to me, hold on. Didn't know why I was supposed to hold on. I was on the phone with her. She said, hold on. She came back, and this is what she read. She read from Unmuted. And this is the piece she read. Love weeps. Love weeps. Whoever said that love will never hurt told a lie. I never knew it, but I found it to be true. Your heart aches, breaks, splits in two. For the love you gave, the vow you made ends abruptly. Your life's disrupted, your emotions fragmented, your mind demented, memories cemented in your heart, lamented. Sometimes tormented, looking for an answer. Who pulled the trigger? Killing every dream you've lived for. The truth is, the answer, love weeps. You cannot love and not get hurt. You won't ever give without realizing that what you gave was priceless anyway. So why are you expecting someone to repay? So keep right on loving and never stop giving with a heart that's forgiving. The pain is washed away, for love sweeps. Now, by the time my girlfriend got to the end of this piece, I was laughing. Remember, I called her belly aching and crying and mourning. But by the time she was done I said, I can't believe you just did that. She used my own work to help me heal. It was therapeutic in that moment where I realized, listen, there are times when you're going to give love and you're going to offer your heart and it's going to get hurt. It's a risky thing to love. It's a risky thing to step out of the boat and love another person. You don't know what's going to happen in return. And so there's several pieces in this book that I truly believe wherever life took you, whatever your journey has been like, whatever your story has been like, it is going to be a book that would help you. So if you haven't got you unmuted yet, it is available on Amazon. And if you don't want to get an Amazon, listen, connect with me somehow. Make sure you have your own copy, because I believe this book will help you. And if you're working with others, teens, or you are a counselor, it is good to have in your office. I'm telling you, I have people who use this and it is helpful. So why unmuted? Well, I can tell you this. In Genesis chapter 1, the Bible says this: in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. Verse 3, and God said. And you keep going down in Genesis 1, and God said, let there be light. And God said, let the earth bring forth. And God said, let there be a separation from night. God said, and everything that God said happened just like he commanded it to be. There's something powerful in speaking. There's something powerful in declaring. There's something powerful in being unmuted. So, Proverbs 18:21, thank you for putting that. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. There is life and death in what you speak. Every one of us has had a journey. Every one of us has a story. And your story can be reframed. Your story can be rewritten, but you've got to speak what it's been like. I think a lot of times we try to move forward past our past. But the truth is, you've got to confront your past, deal with your past, so you can be released from your past. If you do not confront it, if you do not deal with it, truly you will bring it into your future, and the people who are in your life currently will be impacted either negatively or positively, depending on what you're bringing. Do not bring your baggage into your present, because it will hijack destiny and purpose. In 1 Samuel chapter 10, the story is told of Saul. God had chosen Saul after Israel said, we want a king just like other nations. God said to Samuel, I have chosen Saul. But Saul's coronation day came, and Saul was nowhere to be found. Listen, when Samuel said, God, did we make a mistake? What happened here? Where is the man that we are supposed to be anointing as king? God said, he's here. Listen, he's here, but he's hidden under the baggage. Ooh, he is hidden under the baggage. In other words, there are stuff covering you when it's time for the world to see what God has put inside of you. Whether it be fear, whether it be insecurity, whether it be self-doubt, whether it be abandonment, what a false image. I mean, whatever it is, I can tell you, I have watched too many people of God, precious people, gifted people, talented people, anointed people even, but hidden beneath the baggages of their past. Unmuted is a piece of work that I believe was designed to help you and I come from beneath the baggage. Listen to another piece I wrote. Oh my goodness. It is called It. And that's page 31. So if you haven't unmuted, pull it out. It. Where have you pushed it? Keyword it, right? Where have you pushed it? The abuse and encounter, rendezvous and experiment. What shall you name it? Or can you? Would that be to claim it? The shame to admit it. You've said you'd never share it, but how will you repair it if you don't name it? It is generic, no label upon it. No one would ever hear it. You smile to disguise it, but the memories are there, quite vivid and clear. If only you dare to share what you fight to hide, you'd find freedom and release with no more secrets to keep. The message you preach, your life would teach. Confession is for cleansing. The process of counseling is for healing. The spirit is redeemed, but the soul must be rebuilt. The brokenness within does not negate you've been cleansed from your sins. I can hear the Father's whisper. The process never ends. So to yourself be kind. I am the potter. You are the clay. I am shaping and molding you day by day. The work I am doing is state of the art. So I'm mindful while working not to neglect any part. Tugs and pulls, twists and turns, your heart does churn. But for I am working my purpose for the world to view, my glory magnificently displayed in you. Unmuted, my friend, I can tell you, having decided that I will not just preach something, write something, teach something, I would live what I teach, what I preach. I have gone inwards, because a lot of times what we see in our behavior and in the behavior of others, there is something deeper, something beneath the surface. The iceberg. What you see at the top is only a small portion of the magnitude of what's beneath. And I can tell you, if I'm to write a sequel to this book, I would say now, it has a name. It has a name. It has a name. And your it has a name. It may be abandonment. It may be sexual abuse. It may be betrayal. It may be insecurity. It may be fear. It may be anxiety. It may be oppression, depression. Whatever it is, it has a name. And if you could name it and speak it and be unmuted today, your freedom to love others and open up to a new realm in your life will happen. That is my prayer for you, for me, for all of us, because there is greatness in you. You have been born, you have been given life, because destiny marks your life. God sent you from heaven to earth for a purpose. And I can tell you, what we do not speak about, what we do not own, what we do not call by name, hijacks, sabotages our destiny. When that person you can work with, can relate to, who is, just difficult, I can tell you oftentimes it's a cry for love. It's a cry. It's a pain. What you see in that behavior is pain. I can tell you I am more empathetic than I've ever been in my life, because when I listen to a grandmother or a mother speaks of a teenage person, I ask, what happened? What is the story? When I hear of somebody who, just, I don't love people and I don't love to be around people, what is the story? There is a story, but the story doesn't have to remain as is. You are the author, and you can continue to write your story by the grace of God, and you can reframe your story by the grace of God, and you can change the future because you are making a decision to confront the past so you can press into the more God has for your life. I don't know if you are hearing me. Tell me you are hearing this word. And I thank you for those of you who are recommending Unmuted. Thank you, Arlene. Thank you, Joe. If you have if you've read the book, go ahead, yeah, and give a review and let somebody else know that this piece of work is a way to help you and I find release to our souls. Things that we didn't tell anyone, things that we never talked about, things that we never shared. I can tell you it's time. It's time to break the code of silence. The enemy of our souls likes secrecy. He likes to shame us into a corner and say, don't tell anybody. I can tell you, the enemy wants you to keep whatever it is that's really not helpful to your journey a secret. Here's what I suggest. Don't tell everybody. Don't get on a platform and begin to tell it. Not yet, except you are released to do that. But ask God, who is qualified to have your pearls? I see your story as pearls. I see your journey as pearls. I see the things that have happened to you, those things in the core of your being as pearls. I do. And you don't want to give your pearls to swine. You don't want to cast them just anywhere callously and carelessly. You want to make sure that the people or the person you are entrusting your pearls to, that person or persons is qualified. So, my prayer for you today, that God would bring into your life, if that hasn't happened yet, bring into your life the person who must be on this journey with you. The person who will be empathetic, the person who will be compassionate, the person who will be non-judgmental, the person who can sit with you right where you are and tell you it's going to be okay. There is somebody out there that God has designed and God has chosen to walk with you. Be it your pastor, be it a mentor, be it a coach, be it a counselor, a therapist, a friend, a loved one, there is a chosen person to walk with you on this journey of healing. Healing is your portion. Inner healing from every brokenness, every distortion. When we talk about our love quotient, I tell you, to the degree I have been healed from my past, will be to the degree I will be able to give love and receive love. To the degree that I have been unmuted will be to the degree that I am able to walk with another holistically in a very authentic and vulnerable way. If I keep hiding on the fig leaves, it means I am not yet fully healed. If I still try to hide beneath the baggages and pretend that I'm not as gifted and talented and skilled and anointed, and I try to downplay who I am not fully healed. It shows up in each of us in different ways. But I say to you, pay attention. Pay attention to what your behavior looks like. Pay attention to what people who are close to you tell you. They are mirrors. They mirror back to us what sometimes we have a hard time seeing. My dear friends, your moment has come. Your time has come to be healed, to be unmuted, to tell your story, and to share your story. I close with a piece from the introduction. Wow. So it may have originated in the faulty parenting you received, the abortion you never talked about, or the affair that destroyed your marriage. Perhaps it began with the incest that the perpetrator denied, the harsh, condescending words spoken by a superior, or the lies that you were helpless to defend yourself against. You name it, for this list could never be exhaustive, since life is no fair game. We've all been thrown to the curb at some point, leaving us with the question, why? That's a question that can keep you stuck and in prison, for the answer may never come. And even if it does, it could never provide the remedy for your wounded soul. The decision must be made, personally and individually. Refuse to be labeled a victim for the rest of your life. Refuse to answer to the name that pain once called you. Arise when you hear the voice of the Master. Can you hear him today? Your hand may be withered, but if he says stretch it out, then comply, knowing that he gives both the command and the empowerment to fill the order. You may be crippled, but if he says take up your bed and walk, then you can. You may be in a place where the maggots of life have eaten at your flesh and the garments of defeat are clinging to your soul. But when you hear him calling your name, even from the grave, I say to you, arise. No more excuses, no more blaming, explaining, or justifying. If you do not admit it, you cannot get rid of it. What you do not name will seek to bring you shame. What you do not reveal cannot be healed. Dear Lord, I pray for my friends today, for those who are watching, for those who will watch, that you will help us on this healing journey, that you would provide all that we need, God, and you have already, I hear you say you have already provided all we need for life and for godliness. Thank you for every resource you're bringing to us. And you're saying, my child, your time for healing is now. Your time for greater levels of freedom has come. This is your moment. Somebody hashtag, this is my moment. This is your moment for freedom. This is your moment for healing. This is your moment to speak your truth. This is your moment to tell your story. This is your moment to go deeper. This is your moment to go farther. This is your moment to rise above everything that has kept you grounded. This is your moment to soar. This is your time. God bless you as you take the journey. If you don't have a copy, get one today on Amazon. Get one somehow, somewhere. Inbox me and get your copy of Unmuted. Share a recommendation if you already have a copy, and let someone else be encouraged to go on this journey of speaking so that freedom can come. I'll see you next time right here for Monday Morning Manna or Prayer at the Well. Have a great day and a great week. Love you. God bless.